Hello everyone. Today's video is all about being able to answer questions successfully. So if you're someone who finds it difficult to answer questions, then maybe I can give you some tips on how to read the question carefully. And one of the keys to answering a question successfully is to understand what you're looking for, and that every question actually has a lot of clue words. It has clue phrases or target vocab that can guide you to the correct answer. So, first and foremost, you need to, read the question having a plan. So, do not answer any question without having a plan. The plan can be underlining, words in the question, or highlighting important concepts in a question, or just target vocabulary. If you understand what the question requires you to do, then you know where to go and what to look for to answer your questions. Let me give you an example from one of the stories that we did, the ACES phone. And there was one question that most students did unsuccessfully. And that question was, what evidence on page 102 and 103 states that Mrs. D was a cranky and irritable person? And also, which details show that she was a kind person? So, the students, who were very few in number, who read the question carefully, understood that the question was divided into two parts. And one part required you to find evidence on how Mrs. D was cranky, and one part of the question required you to find evidence on to prove that she was very kind. But what most students did was they just wrote a part of the answer saying that she wanted Martin to have a job. Now, I, as a teacher, when I'm checking that answer, I don't know which part of the question are you answering. Are you giving me that answer to prove that she was cranky? Are you putting that piece of evidence there to show me that she is kind? You need your question, you need to be as specific in your answer as the question itself. So ideally, you would write down details on page 102 state that Mrs. D asked Martin about his life, and she felt for him when she bunched her lips and asked him to find a job after school. This shows that she is a very kind person. Now, that's a complete answer. But I know still that I have another piece of detail to find to show that she is cranky. So I'll say details on page 103 tell us that Mrs. D poked Martin when she wanted to get her phone back. This action of Mrs. D shows that she is a very cranky kind of person. So this would get you your full mark because you are being very specific in your answer. And the reason why you're being specific in your answer is because you read the question in detail and you understood what the question expected from you. But if you are going to just skim through the question and give part of the answer, and that part of the answer will not also be specific in nature, then you're going to lose your mark. And as you grow older, you need to, when you want to prove something to someone, you've got one chance to do that. And really, I mean, who would want to lose that chance if that's that one chance you have of really proving to someone that you know what you're talking about? So always you need all the details, you need all the evidence to back up what you're trying to say. And the same goes for literature. I mean, when you're answering a question in literature, you really need to be, give all the details so that you can prove to the person who's assessing you that you have understood the story well and you know the details that go with it to prove your answer. There was another question that said, describe a time when you felt a torrent of feeling. Even though the question really wanted you to highlight the meaning of the word torrent, but a lot of you just wrote the meaning down. Now, you didn't even read the question because the question wanted a description from you. It said, describe a time when you felt a torrent of feeling. So some students were intelligent. They answered by saying, when I went on my roller coaster ride, I felt a torrent of feeling. That was really good. But some wrote on a roller coaster. Some wrote, it's a rushing feeling. I did not ask you for the meaning. The question required you to describe a time, and through your description, I would understand if you understood the meaning of torrent or not. So sometimes, you just look at a word and you decide that, the question must be asking you for a meaning, but it's really requiring you to share an experience from your life to help me understand what is the meaning of torrent. So next time when you actually, you read a question, you must understand the expectation, because it's the expectation that will guide you to your success in answering